What is up, Kingsman? Welcome back. I am so happy to be bringing you another Napoleon Total War 3 battle. Today we have a 4v4 in Finland, and we are playing the Finnish Corps, or watching the Finnish Corps play. We have Sweden versus Russia, and Denmark and Russia versus Sweden, and technically the UK. I'm thrown in there. So the UK being the 4-pointer for their side, Denmark being the 4-pointer for this side, and then you have, of course, 8, 10, and 6-pointer for Russia, and well, I don't see the points for these guys. I don't see the point, so I don't know actually what their points are. But this is a very awesome battle. It's not dead even close, but it is very close for most of the battle. So I hope you guys enjoy. Get some snacks or drinks if it is that time of the day, or coffee or whatever, and sit back and just watch this whole battle unfold. As you can see, the Swedish did deploy some guerrilla units right outside the town. Now, the thing about Sweden is they have a lot of units that can form square. Almost all their units can, so it's very frustrating to fight against them if you want to have a cav advantage. As you can see, Denmark is going to be pushing over here using the road. You have, sorry, you have another Russian player trying to rush over here, and then you have Russia going across the river, pushing for the town, and has the 10-pointer showing up right behind him. So trying to take this town before the other Swedish armies can get there. Now, I think this is just a small guerrilla force with some cavalry, some dragoons on the side as well. So this will be a very hot contest for this town. You're not going to see a whole lot of them at first. Man, I love how Swedes have like this top hat look. They just have top hats. They're like, yeah, who cares? So already Russia is starting to scout around the building with some of their lighter cavalry, kind of like a hussar unit of sorts. And they are going to be trying to see what's around this area. Is there a Swedish army marching over here? Are they all over here? And if this is all, then they can easily get crushed. Even though, unfortunately, Russia does not have fast-moving troops. So, I mean, over here on this side they do. Looks like they have a lot more musketeers. Really good quality. They have some light infantry as well. So that's going to be their packing punch infantry. And this is just kind of more their cheap masses. So already we look like we have some artillery firing, probably some horse artillery here. And Russia is moving up some Kazaki lancers. And yep, there was horse artillery out of here, but Sweden has cavalry obviously watching out. And now I think Sweden is going to commit some cav here, going against some of the hussars of Russia, and also can get charged, looks like, in the back. So yeah, Sweden's lost a unit, and probably Russia will too, I'm assuming. But Sweden get really aggressive here with their dragoons and hussars. So we will see how that battle unfolds. More horse artillery setting up here. Actually, maybe Russia could have sent their... they're going to run off. They know it. So we do have some artillery. I don't know whose it is opening up over there, but as you can see, Sweden is now throwing in their dragoons, trying to rout as many cavs they can of Russia, trying to get them out of the field. They want to dominate this open field where their artillery is already starting to set up. So, I think, oh yeah, the Russian 6-pounders already opening up fire. And what it actually looks like, ooh, we got Sweden actually advancing to meet them now. Maybe they have units marching through the town and they know that, but I would not advance at that point. It's kind of a crazy fight. So, like I said, these two forces, Denmark and Russia, are going to be further behind. But they are coming up as quickly as possible, and Denmark is going to be bringing some decent infantry, considering they're a 4-pointer. So we already have Russian and Denmark cav starting to show up on this side of the river being a slow point to go across. So once you commit to one side, you're stuck on that side. But Russia getting really close here. They are just closing in this gap. I love this aggressive push. They are running, though. But they are going to make an aggressive push for the town. And Sweden does not have anything, I suspect, yet. But looks like Sweden wants to dominate the Cav engagement on this side, which they are doing a pretty good job right now. Russia does have some 6-pounders getting across, so this is going to become a problem for this Denmark-Russian coalition trying to deal with the Swedish cavalry. Already, though, as you can see, Russia has done... Oh, we have... Oh, my goodness. The UK lost their Grasshopper light skirmish cab already. And it looks like they were caught out. And these guys are definitely going to get away. They're definitely faster than the Carabineers. So you can see that Sweden is falling back. I mean, they are a guerrilla faction and outnumbered. So if anything, they're just trying to delay the Russian attack until more Swedish troops can get there. And of course, the UK is sitting here. So scouting going very well right now. It looks like actually the Russian alliance is going to push across a little bit here. Maybe get aggressive. We'll see. And they have a 3-pounder that's moving up pretty fast at F5, so it's going to move. It definitely has the speed. Over here, though, this is where the fight is really happening. Russia is going for this 1-pointer to establish the LOC, possibly. Running a lot. I didn't realize they were running so much. That's going to exhaust your troops. When running, you got to be a little cautious with it. I don't ever really run unless I'm almost in line and if I want to get off a good volley. But they are being very aggressive here, and Sweden is falling back. So it is working. The other army, which is the cheaper musketeer army, is forming up on this flank. The only problem is if Sweden decided to send in Cav, this is a very weak army to that. They have 1 unit that can form square. So that could be a problem for them. Over here, though, Denmark and Russia, the other Russian army, are getting very close and probably... I mean, they've been pretty aggressive so far, so we are going to see them probably push across the river here. And the fight for the town still raging. I'm assuming the UK are... Yeah, the UK are going to push right here. I mean, this Russian force needs to be dealt with. And they need to flank it because right now Sweden cannot hold very well. They are using the natural choke points with the buildings, forcing them to maybe not be able to use the full weight of their army at this time. But you can see they are really starting to get hurt here as Russia's putting in some very solid volleys here. Now we have a push. Now the Russians and Denmark Cav are pushing across here. Now we're starting to see the Swedish army, and look at how many of these guys can form square. This is unreal. I don't see anyone that can't except for these two like light infantry. Okay, there's some cheaper infantry over here, but this is just a UK all over again. I do like the corps sometimes where it's not your traditional, corps, not traditional fighting, because, it's always French. The French are always fighting someone, so it's kind of cool to see a not French battle. So Sweden is starting to really hurt here, so they're going to start falling back, having lost quite a few of the men in some of these units. And now Russia is going to take this LOC. We have some Cav engaging over here, some Dragoons. We got some Dragoons going to go for the flank here. Some Kazakis as well. And it looks like actually everybody's going to disengage possibly here. Dragoons all clashing here. We're getting maybe a flank charge here by another Swedish lighter Cav. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Sweden is kind of dominating this battle, but here comes more Russian cavalry, and this could easily be...
Our men are running, sir.
One or the other. But it looks like actually everybody's going to disengage. Sweden actually seems to come out on top, and they do have the more Cav. I know with Denmark, because I was playing Denmark, can't bring a whole lot of cavalry. I don't know about the other allies, but they couldn't bring as much cavalry. The Swedes brought a lot of cav compared to us, which was the unfortunate part. Means our cav couldn't really be as effective, just maybe using it as a defense. Now you're starting to see, though, excuse me, the UK are forming up and going to take on the Russians. At the same time, we got Sweden advancing in force to meet this other Russian army, and Denmark, myself, Kingston, we're going to be pushing across right here, maybe going for a flank here, but we are seeing something which I love to do myself when it's possible, setting up, and they had some crazy good guns. Now, these guys are really slow, but they are really, really good guns. They're setting up in a massive battery. That's going to really start hurting us, but we're going to have to push forward anyway, because at one pointer, we could have focused over here and pushed across, but we saw them advancing. Might as well take them on. So we set up a bunch of our guns here, or I set up all my guns here, and I'm hopefully going to move cav out of the way and start pouring in the fire on the Swedish line infantry. Over here, the line, the battle is still raging now as the UK have gotten involved. And it's kind of a dead stalemate right now. Oh, we got some artillery fire coming in. I did not notice that. Where is it firing from? I don't see where it's firing from. But, oh, we got some cavalry. Some guard cav went for a Swedish line that can form square. That is not going to go very well for them, unfortunately. Over here, Sweden is kind of going into... They're advancing into kind of a... flank. They're risking this whole line getting outflanked here. Over here, Russia has kind of pushed back Sweden. Sweden kind of just sitting here, just sitting back. They just are going to probably see how the rest of this battle will go. And this flank right now is a problem for Russia. They did bayonet charge the square. That is an excellent move. Sweden now is formed up, starting to take on Russia, but this artillery, guys, is going to start doing real damage to this line. He kind of just let his troops sit here and just take the artillery fire from our guns. So I was kind of happy about that at first. And of course my army is moving up, and we still have another ally who has not yet joined the fight. So I was very excited to see them accepting this, but the fight is going on over here. Dragoons going in with the infantry, seeing that these guys cannot form square, and now Russia is going to advance over here. More infantry going into this fight, guys. It is just feeding one side than the other. We have a general over here, Yakov. And now, who knows? They maybe can form and keep volleying each other. Over here, we got a lot of cav going in from the Carabineers of Sweden, being met by some lighter Russian cav here. And that is going to be a problem for Sweden, as they have to try to hold this town. Russia isn't really pushing a whole lot of troops, but they are doing an excellent job. Over here, like I said, this is a weaker point for the Swedish and UK. Actually, not a whole lot of troops, so they can definitely hold.
Our general is under attack.
Swedish general getting attacked here by artillery. Cav trying to reform, and like I said, this artillery position, we are leaving a nice open area able to fire through. We got more Swedish cav now rushing in, going for a bunch of infantry and cav of Russia. So this could be a big problem here. And now it looks like the UK are going to start pushing, and Russia's going to start falling back. Yeah, they're doing pretty good over here. Like I said, they are losing troops to just artillery fire. Now they do have their guns over here, which are going to start really hurting the Denmark line. But this kind of is a corner where cav on both sides is kind of massing up. Some reserves sitting up here. That's infantry general from both sides here. Now the Swedish and Russians both have broken. And the UK are now going to start pushing up here. Now they are a 4-pointer, guys, just like Denmark. So we'll see how much damage they both actually do in the battle. Oh yeah, this fight is still raging. We have a lot more reserves now from Sweden just sitting back here. Now they're going to start advancing. They are holding back Russia, even though Russia does have the LOC, so they don't have to push too much. The real push will happen over here. Now we're starting to see the Denmark line infantry outflanking this Swedish line. But like I said, I am not going to feel too worried about engaging because my artillery are just evening the odds here, just starting to punch right through these infantry. Over on this side, the UK are still making an aggressive push, probably trying to see if they can't collapse this one Russian army, which would not be a terrible thing to do. They could definitely do it. We got Cuirassier, Guard Cav, but remember I think there was artillery over here. They probably moved. But now Sweden is starting to fall back. It would have been very easy to push them if they didn't have their artillery set up on this hill. This is why strategic placement of artillery is so crucial, to be able to defend a position if you need to fall back to a certain point, or attack a position to drive them back, which artillery was sent to drive them back, not really to attack. It was a defensive placement for us. So here is Russia now advancing with their infantry coming across. And we have some cavalry engaging here. I had some of my infantry kind of trying to back them up here. And unfortunately, they're cannot form square for some reason. I put the wrong infantry in there. I thought I had put my grenadiers that could form square on the flank. But, you know, mistakes happen. You know? That's what playing NTW3 is about. All the mistakes that you make, you learn from. Which, trust me, I made plenty of mistakes. Now, Russia is getting really aggressive on the UK. Kind of sitting back and holding and pushing really hard on the UK. UK kind of feeling the brunt of this Russian attack here. Infantry going in for a bayonet charge on a square, using their cav to kind of work with the infantry. And UK's in trouble. UK's starting to feel the weight on this side. And as you can see, the Swedish have fallen back a ton. More cav looks like they're amassing up over here, and Sweden may be going to get really aggressive here. My infantry general did come back, and I caught him out of there, and I was like, wrong guy. This is the guy I meant to have over there. But yeah, this artillery is going to be a problem, guys. They are forming up so that I don't want to advance and let them just fire down the flank. So we are actually going to shift our troops over and push at this weak point right here. That was our plan going forward into this. UK is getting broken so fast by repeated cavalry and infantry charges from Russia here. So that's going to cause a massive flank opening up for Sweden. I was like telling the Russian players, like, attack, attack, just go in. Sweden, we can encircle this one army. Unfortunately, we weren't able to move fast enough. We tried moving, though. We tried. Still a fight for this LOC. Sweden not really being super aggressive. At this point, they don't need to be. They can sit back. They can afford to wait it out, see how this battle outside of the town goes. Because my goodness, the UK are just being pushed back constantly now. And Russia has an opportunity to totally encircle this Swedish army that's kind of sitting out here. This Swedish player doesn't seem to be really reading the battlefield too well, because he's about to get totally outflanked. Three line infantry. Okay, now they're falling back. And this is when I was like, we gotta push. Like, we gotta make a big move. You know. Artillery be damned. We're gonna go for it. We still have reserves over here that can form up the flank if needed. And we're gonna start pushing as best we can. I think the sound just glitched out. Hold on. Can't go without our sound. So they're going to start being defensive, but you know what? I don't even need to worry about that too much. I'm just going to keep pushing. I should have not fallen back. I was worried about the artillery, I think. Because UK are just gone. And now Russia can just start pushing for this flank. They can get behind this Swedish army. If they just push out, their army is exhausted and tired. But if they can push out, they could encircle this army. Russia just needs to keep pushing, just keeping super aggressive. Just, you know, don't stop to fire. Just get really close. They will keep falling back. All of us needed to fall back. What I actually realized is I don't have to attack over here. We just got to attack right here. So, falling back my army, just kind of sit back, let him shell me if he wants. But the main attack is happening right here. Unfortunately, we started to let them get away. not pushing aggressive enough. And that's one thing, guys, in NTW3, you have to be aggressive. Sit back and firing. This Swedish army is getting away. If we push on the flank, though, we could encircle them still. We just gotta keep the push going. You can't stop. These guys are a little bit faster than some of our armies, so, but that's okay. Like I said, you learn, and we should have all been more aggressive, but that's okay. Sweden is now starting to push over, trying to maybe defend the flank, so you know that is good to stop this flanking force of Russia from attacking here, as they are getting aggressive. And now they're going to form kind of a V shape of sorts, which actually is a pretty good formation to attack, because you basically will focus one whole line on a massive assaulting line. You can start picking off one unit at a time, and Sweden is definitely starting to feel the full force of our attack finally. Now this flanking force of Sweden, along with some UK, is definitely going to do some work here. But starting to win a little bit, or starting to feel a little better about this battle now. Like I said, we have the reserves. I moved my 3-pounders up to get them in place, maybe to start shelling this Swedish line. Also moved my 6-pounders up. Hopefully to even the odds a little bit more. They do have the horse artillery sitting right here, and that is going to be really helpful, but they are starting to come under a heavy fire from our volleys, so right now I was really wishing I had cavalry, because they had no cav to defend this. I think they're doing canister shot, but it's kind of almost too far away at this point. But here we go. We got artillery set up here, starting to blast into the Swedish line, and yeah, if we just had a little bit more cav, we would have easily taken this. I think my heavies were gone, or no, they were over here. I think I was moving them up because I was like, we can use heavies to just attack them. Now, the line is kind of readjusted. Like I said, we still have the LOC, but now we're fighting around this side. Both sides have almost spent all their cav, and that's not a good thing, because we knew that Sweden still had a lot of cav. We have hussars and dragoons guarding their artillery placement. They're starting to waver over here. Their artillery is starting to really do some damage to us. But we are worried. I was worried about a massive Swedish cav attack. And I was like, well, it would probably want to go for me. I mean, it could go for me. But I was worried about the Russian player who's exhausted already. He's been fighting for a very long time. And Sweden is starting to form up more line infantry. I think we started going in for getting really close. And, yeah, he does a bayonet charge on the artillery. He may get flanking charged, but he's going to get rid of those guns. And this is when we should have been way more aggressive. We should have just punched. If I'd had cav to just throw through here, it would have been perfect. But we see some calves, some cuirassiers, which we had no. We had one cuirassier, I think, and so I was worried. It's like, dang it, ours is gone. They have a very healthy one, which is why you need your reserves. You need your cav reserves. Sweden's still falling back. We're still pushing the attack. Starting to form up over here on this side. And move my 6-pounders across, and the rest of the Russian army is now starting to push across. And Sweden is definitely starting to fall back here, but here comes those cuirassiers. We have some 6-pound artillery. No, we have some dragoons going in. Now they're gonna attack a square formation, so that's not gonna go very well. But we were really starting to push them back. I was feeling confident here. I know I'll say that several times, but we are starting to push. That artillery is going to be a problem, and unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we could really do about it. That's always bad when you can't do anything about their artillery. Now, they couldn't do anything about our artillery at the moment either. I'm starting to shoot at their cab and we try to make them disappear so we can be a little more aggressive on their artillery. But Russia is now starting to push on the flank, and we are driving back Sweden here. Pushing on this flank as well. We're just going to ignore the guns. But here comes the cuirassiers. They are going to go in and make a move. And that's bad. That was really
Our
bad.
men are running,
So
sir.
I begin to rush my cav over because I have some of the only heavy cav left. So I'm rushing my cav over because I know that Rush is about to feel the weight of this cav charge here. And he does not, he has some dragoons, but that's about it. So he's smashing this whole line with his cav. We're pushing over here, but he's smashing the whole line of this cav, so I'm going to send my cavalry over. You can see he's also, I think they're just trying to buy time so their army can retreat. And it may have worked. Because we are pushing over here. We have broken several of the Swedish line infantry. But their cav is going in. But here we go. The flanking charge of these Swedish is going to be met by the Denmark heavy cav that I have. Well, it's not really heavy as much as these cuirassiers. But you see they have broken this whole Russian line. And that bought them a ton of time. If that had been able to advance, that could have been detrimental to a Swedish retreat. As now this is going to be, well, they have the general to inspire, keep the cuirassiers in the fight. My cavalry is winning slightly. I was told him to rush his general up over there. At the same time, we have Swedish cav moving on my side. And I was like telling my allies, like, hey, can you hear Kazakis? Because he's totally going for my artillery piece. I do want my guard that can form square, but I do not want to lose the artillery. That is a massive advantage for us. And unfortunately, we did not fall back enough. Or we did not advance enough. We should have been advancing way more. The problem is this is going to be a disaster as his cav is going to definitely destroy my artillery now that they've taken their cav, although they did rout them. But this fight over here is kind of broken off. They've taken their exhausted cuirassiers away. I forgot about my cav for a little bit there, I think. My general was over here to inspire. And now I'm going to move them back. As you can see, Russia is still pushing. We are still trying to advance. But we're getting a little disorganized and we're getting pretty exhausted. The artillery they had was doing too much damage to us at this point. And we were beginning to feel the pain, but we realized we have LOC. So maybe we just need to hold the LOC. They are probably going to try going for the LOC. They have an army way over here, which is probably going to move over here to attack this LOC that we have. Because we have a 2-pointer and the 1-pointer. So even if we just hold those two, even if they have this, they won't have enough. So that was our plan at the moment. And I think it takes a little bit, so I'm going to actually fast forward just a little bit to make sure nothing's happening here. This is a really good battle either way, though. If you guys want to get involved in these battles, just on a side note, we play quite a bit, and you may hear some people that don't really like the NPL server. Some of you guys may or may not. Oh, Sweden's going for artillery again. Yeah, he's just going to sneak in there. I'm gonna destroy my guns, unfortunately, but you know it happens when you have no cav
Our
left.
men are running, sir.
You can't really defend your guns. He sacrificed it, and it was well-placed sacrifice to destroy guns so that he could maybe attack again. But as I was saying before, if you're new to NTW3, this is where I went and learned a ton. There's a lot of experienced players in the NPL, which is what this match was played. They'll teach you. They're pretty new user friendly. They will watch replays with you to show you what you could have done better, what you did do better, and it's a really good place. So I always have the link in the description of my videos. It's called the NPL, and yeah. But anyway, we're going back to this because now Sweden is starting to make a push for the LOC, and we realized our mistake about committing too far this way, and they'd already started shifting over here. So now we are going to start shifting back. In fact, like I said, we realized we don't need to push on their position. We shouldn't have pushed them, honestly. We should have funneled over here and just held this 1-pointer. That's all we needed to do. So Russia thankfully had some troops still in here. which they are going to make a desperate stand. Props to this player for trying his best to hold with what he had. This is a big LSC to hold, but he's going to try his best. And Sweden is going to try going in and attacking. They are going to have a desperate fight. But anyway, enough of being inside buildings. This place is so massive. Imagine the amount of people that can go in here. So, yeah, we're starting to rush over. I don't even want to watch because I forgot my cav, which is why you need to get good at multitasking. You can't, one little mistake, massive slip up, that's all it takes. I was trying to get him over here to maybe help out in this fight. I lose him. I don't want to watch myself lose him. I definitely lost him, though. It was sad. I was very sad about that. So, like I said, we're starting to, as you can see, we are flipping our units over, and we are just going to en masse hold this town. I made a couple more mistakes, which,
our men are running, sir.
You know, unfortunately, I made a lot of mistakes in this battle. Not being aggressive was the first one. Not carrying my artillery as well was the second one. My general started coming under artillery fire, I think, but I managed to get him out of there. But yeah, so we're moving some of our infantry over. I told him, you know what, I'm going to just go around the flank. I should not have done that. That's another mistake. I started going around the flank, maybe to outflank them. I know there was a Swedish army here that was going to reinforce. We wanted to hold this, and they had the LOC at that point. So we wanted to take it. Now Russia is going to rush their army over. No pun intended. And we're going to start a renewed assault on this hill. And I honestly don't do much of this Swedish army. Like I said, I should have gone over here. I should have. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. No use crying over spilt milk. I am showing you, I'll show you mistakes that were made so you guys can learn from it, or, you know, that sort of thing. So, fast forward till we actually start engaging, because the nice thing about playing battles, you know when things actually start. So Russia is going to start pushing up their infantry. Sweden doesn't have a lot yet, and I knew there's a Swedish army here. What I was trying to do was buy time for this army to attack, because if I can keep this Swedish army occupied, which I did. Oh, a general for Russia died going into melee against Wilhelm Klingspor. But anyway, so we can probably play here again. Yeah, I was hoping they'd be aggressive and just push them out. They have the numbers at that point. Take the LSC. I would sacrifice my army to basically keep this Swedish army from attacking, which it was working. And it worked for quite some time, thankfully. But I also asked my ally to send his infantry over to deal with this artillery because it was a problem. Very frustrating problem. Also, I realized the LSC, we probably should rush infantry over here just in case we lose that LSC, because if we take one more LSC, we still win. But this artillery was starting to really, really hurt me. Like I said, I knew I was going to probably die here. I was just hoping to maybe, you know, sacrifice my army so they could push up. And they are making a push, so they are doing what they should do. And I'm buying time, making them attack or, you know, retreat. One or the other. They're going to have to do one or the other. And, yeah. Basically, the rule was if they start falling back, I attack again. But this artillery is really starting to hurt. As you see, they are starting to fall back, so I am going to once again push forward. Russia is starting to make some attacks on the town. This town has been the heated place for combat now. Swedish holding as best they can. They have some really good quality infantry. Swedish do bring some actually really good infantry. Denmark brings some. I wish we could have brought more Denmark. Denmark has really good infantry. Russia can, but, you know, they don't bring a lot of the best infantry. They can just bring a lot of it, so. And this is his better infantry, unfortunately, that he's using. But he's going to run up, try to take up this artillery. He does take it, but he does lose a lot. You know, that's just the nature of the business. He's probably going to lose at least one. They're wavering already. Yeah. Oh, man. Can they take the guns? Oh, they missed. Yeah, they're not going to fire again, thankfully. And so he's going to run his men away. But he doesn't really ever get them back, I don't think. They are not going to be able to fire, thankfully. Oh, they do fire? Oh, that was so close. Oh, they almost fired. So once again, I am going to advance here. The Swedes are getting pushed out of this town. Russia making an aggressive attack here. And I know they could use these troops probably, but now I'm starting to see Russian cav attack here. I was hoping to be able to attack when his cav attacked, because that would be perfect to do. I'll start moving my 3-pounders up because I want to, you know, be able to... Oh yeah, and look at this. These cuirassiers are still alive somehow. They're fresh, so that's going to be a problem for me. But I'm going to keep advancing here, keep pushing. He has his infantry who are going to start pushing for this LOC as well, because the timer has 20 minutes left, and at this point that's all it's winding up being. Is it's a time constraint, because I don't think we're not getting very close to taking this LOC yet, and Russia's starting to run out of steam here. I just need to keep Sweden from advancing their army here. If I can catch them in the town, then we could pincer them, so Sweden does have to stop at some point and fight me. But anyway, so we are pushing. I did see a lot of Swedish infantry pushing up here. And I'm also going to be able to showcase the LOC bug and how you deal with that, because we had the LOC bug that was... I'll show you when it gets to it, and how I figured out how you can kind of combat it if you see it starting to happen. Now, Sweden is making a very excellent hold. I mean, they are just holding the choke points. Like I said, Russia is having some struggles here. Over here, I'm starting to push very aggressively. I'm hoping they're going to stop and fight, but like I said, they are rushing troops over because they are breaking over here. They're starting to rush troops over. Oh, do we have a general? Oh, we have a 6-pounder fighting. Oh, he rushed his 6-pounder over. Wow. His 6-pounder is actually maybe going to break some infantry. That you don't see very often. But now we are going to start engaging here. His units are very healthy. These guys barely lost any compared to me. I've been fighting for a very long time. Almost all these guys are half off. And here are these cuirassiers, which when you see heavy cav coming towards you and you know you don't have a lot of units that form square, it's a bad thing. Especially if the infantry is getting close. So this is when I knew I was screwed. I knew I was screwed because if I tried retreating, he'd advance with his cav infantry, and there's not a whole lot you can do, unfortunately, against that. You can't form square if infantry are charging you, and you can't not form square if cav are charging you. So it becomes tough. It becomes tough to deal with. So he's starting to inch forward with his Swedish cav. Russia is rushing into this house with their grenadiers. Excellent unit to clear out the LOC. Like I said, we're just trying to hang on. We're trying to hang on, guys. He did have some cav, some cuirassiers of his own. I was hoping maybe to be able to work in part with him, maybe if he charged, force them to form square. I think his cuirassiers. I should have advanced at this point. I should have advanced on Sweden. But like I said, a lot of mistakes. A lot of things you could do differently. But they have held the house some against the grenadiers. So still doing well, holding well here. Russia, they have some reserves here, which he'll start getting in the fight soon, hopefully, because, you know, you don't want to lose LLC before the timer runs out, of course.
Our men are running, sir.
Nice Cuirassiers, I was hoping would stay close to distract these guys, but you can't have everything you want, isn't that right? So we're advancing this LLC because we're hoping maybe to be able to take it out. Other LLC being right over here, and they definitely have a handle on that. And you can see they're starting to advance. This is when I should have retreated. Because he's going to force these guys to form square. Because yes, I will form square, but I should have fallen back because he's just going to start bayonet charging, and it will become a terrific scene. Or I should have just held my ground. But at this point, it's better to hold your ground than try falling back. As you can see, I'm putting some damage on, but I should have held my ground there. Should have held. Don't chicken out. Russia is starting to make some real progress here. Sweden does not have enough troops to deal with the masses of Russians that are advancing here. But here we go, guys. This is going to become a little disastrous here. Force you to form square. You have, you know, like I said, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And then the bayonet charge will begin. You gotta basically just trick them into forming square. Everybody's gonna do it to a mass huddle, talk about what we're gonna do, and then, yeah, not falling back would have been a good thing because now, like I said, they're all gonna start wavering. It's gonna become a mass rout. If my general was here, which I should have had my general here, probably could have done a lot better of a job because now it's just gonna become a mess. He's sending his cuirassiers in, but it's probably going to be a little too late here. As now, you know, can't form a square. And it's going to be bad. Oh, my artillery, though, got some excellent kills there. My goodness. But it's going to be a mass breakage. Over here, we are advancing. There's 3 of these fresh, and my guys that are fresh. So we're going to try to advance on this LOC, as that is our only hope at this point. Unless Russia can manage to hold. My artillery did some really good work, though, considering, you know, they're about to die. But you can see Russia has taken this LOC almost. They've almost taken the LOC. There is a German Legion, Green Rascals, and a general in here. So we can still win this, guys. We can still take this LOC and hold. Sweden has, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 line infantry or 5 line infantry. Gonna try to shoot the cav. Didn't really work out, and that's the majority of my army gone, unfortunately. So, but here's the thing, guys. If you see this, so you tell them to fire, and they will just keep advancing. You have to put them in melee mode. So you got to hit the melee. Don't tell them to charge. But you have to put a melee load, or else they will not fire, and they'll just keep advancing and not shooting. So, this is kind of one of our last hopes. If we don't take the other LOC, we can take this one, because we don't have a whole lot of time left to take this LOC or the other one. So, oh man, they're not firing yet. We still couldn't see them, I realized, somehow. So, I think we have to advance some more in order to see them. There we go. Oh, not slow motion. But you can see, this is what will happen. They'll just keep advancing and just get shot in the face, shot in the face. He did it before I did. But, you know, share my advice about how to deal with that. Anyway, the last stand in this town, and Russia is going in for the LOC. And here comes Sweden, victorious over Denmark. And, Russia probably should try to just get back and hold this. Oh, they have some infantry right here I didn't even see. They have some infantry right here, and we were like, just go in. You have to go in at this point. It's not going to work unless you rush it. My general, I'm now moving up. We did just start losing 2 volleys. In fact, I just went in for bayonet charge. And just our morale is terrible against these 2 line infantry. So Russia's line infantry are just starting to waver just from coming under missile fire. Maybe I should have put these guys behind. buff for the morale, but they're gonna do a bayonet charge now. As yeah, it's gonna get nasty, and that's gonna be unfortunately the end of an attempt at taking the LOC. Russia is going to try one last ditch effort to take the LOC. Our generals are sitting here maybe to try to inspire them. And they got a lot of infantry sitting in this house. This LOC here. Grand LOC looking, you know? My goodness. Look at that.
We have killed their general, sir.
We did kill a general in there, finally. But I don't think it mattered too much. Last ditch effort. And Sweden is got the numbers against Russia now. So 5 infantry versus 2. There was some infantry that was hiding back here, but now they're going to advance here. And not a whole lot else to say, guys. Not a whole lot else to say. We just kind of watch the rest of this battle unfold. See if Russia can maybe make a desperate stand here. Whoever this player was, they just basically sent their artillery around just to kill routing troops. They had nothing else to do with them, so they just racked up the kills with their artillery piece. What I was thinking was, I wasn't able to really explain what I thought you should do, but I thought you should like put them here so they try attacking the LOC. You can volley them as they're rushing in. But like I said, they don't have the numbers anymore, so it's not really going to matter too much. Sweden has numbers, they're active. They still have cuirassiers, so it's going to be nasty. I think our men came back, but then they broke. We don't take that at all. They had too many good units in there. But that saved them from losing. That's basically what saved them from losing, because if we did not hold this, but we took that, we would have won still, as we had some troops in here. I'm just going to fast forward because just a little bit of volleying, and that's about it. The cav is probably going to be really helpful here. Oh, he did actually do it. Okay, I think my general, I swing him around here just to... Okay, so he is going to go in for the house. His infantry do start breaking just because okay, he's going to go for a bayonet charge here. They're going to get volleyed and probably going to break. We're still holding the house, or the LOC as it were. Still holding. These cuirassiers are going in for bayonet charge against the Russian infantry. We have even more. Just this building is making it kind of weird. And Sweden is now going to rush into the house to make sure that they don't lose it. My general was sitting right here, and I decided to go in for maybe a charge to kill the Swedish general. Not like it's going to matter much. The cuirassiers are going to clean up. And they have taken the LOC, and we are not going to take that LOC. So let me just fast forward a little bit here. I think I actually rushed my troops in to fight, and he dies bravely in the house.
Our men are running, sir.
Brave soul. Actually, he's sitting right. Wait, is that him? Yeah, that's him. No, that's him right here. Oh, he's still alive. Not for much longer. Yeah, there he is. He died bravely, as he should. Fighting for glory. No. So I'm just going to fast forward because, like I said, this is just going to be us shooting the house for a while until our men break. And I'll skip to the end stats. Alright, guys, so that battle... 1 Pound did an excellent job clearing things up. So, yeah, they all did. Me and JG Master got the least amount of kills, not doing the greatest. So, yeah, it was a fun battle, though. was a good battle. Almost. It was so close. I'm just kind of curious. I did not do the greatest. Like I said, yeah. These guys did well. Artillery did not get as many kills as I would have liked. So, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Stick around for more. If you have any replays you would like to send me to showcase, I have a Discord. You can post them in the epic battle replays. So, in the meantime, you guys stay safe. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in another video.